understanding of personal space and whatnot. So I assume when the augmentation teams from 10 Marines are coming in, they're living with 150 Iraqis who don't necessarily believe in private space. I was wondering, how has that relationship worked out between the Marines? Because I assume if you had some disciplinary actions, that would just destroy your, what everything you accomplished out here.
Yeah, we've got them integrated in their duty lives, in terms of when they're on or when they're out in the station. They're working with the IPs and they have jobs with the IPs, and they're welcome to hang out with the IPs as much as they want. When they're in their room, like, IPs don't go into that room. They spend enough time with them as it is, and all the Iraqi police understand that. They go back and they use our gym sometimes when they want to. Like, that's not an issue. But they understand our culture. They make an effort to understand our culture just as much as we try and make an effort to understand theirs. So if there is something, we just have to draw a line sometimes or some places and be like, okay, like, you went too far there. Like, okay, stop. And it's not anything more than that. Like, in this tone of voice in a discussion like this, you go to a good Iraqi officer, which we have plenty of at the station, and tell them, okay, like, that there was a problem here, like, let's fix it, and then let the IPs know they can't say go into the room in the middle of the night anymore. Okay, Roger, and it's solved.
So there hasn't really been any problems with the Marines and the Iraqis as far as their relationship is concerned here.
There's constant back and forth and give and take, but there haven't been, like, no one's gotten in a fight, no one's threatened to shank one another. They all have a good working relationship. They all enjoy themselves and work with one another. And yeah, not really any serious problems.
Okay.
One of the largest issues we've come across is that in this fight, patience is much more important than aggression. Like, you have to be very patient with them, because they're not going to move as quickly as you want them to move. It's not a kinetic environment, so they don't feel the threat, they don't feel the urgency that we do on a 7th-month deployment to get things done. Like, hey, I got to get this done by next week because it's, like, required by the company commander, the battalion commander, and I'm working hard, and this is my 7th-month deployment. I'm going to put everything I got and work 15, 18 hours every single day. Well, they don't have that. They don't have that mentality, so it's difficult. Sometimes you press and you press, but in a very patient way. You have to maintain your professional bearing, and that's ridiculous to have an organization designed for patented pure aggression like the Marine Corps. Like, get it done and get it done now. Get it done through some intelligence, but most of the time, or when it's very difficult, just pure aggression to come in here and be like, okay, now get it done through patience. Now get it done through a steady hand, always pushing, but not ever making a fist.
Okay.
It's very difficult.
So I guess, like I said, there hasn't really been any problem as far as the culture clash between the Marines and the Iraqis.
No.
They have a pretty solid relationship.
Yeah, they do. They do. A lot of them, the good ones, have a good relationship with the good Marines. They're in any organization. 10% of them are turds. And you just get used to it, and the Marines come to realize that the turds that are IPs are also recognized as turds by good IPs. They're friends with the good IPs. They're not with the turd IPs, and they get along together like that. So the good ones they hang around with, they hug and they jump on and they, like, give rabbit punches to, and all they, just joke around like young guys do. The bad ones, they don't.
Okay. So. Well, I guess I want to kind of go into some of the duties of the augmentation leader. I mean, what is it that you really do out here? I mean, you only have 10 Marines in your command, but you're responsible for an area operation. I mean, what is it that you're responsible for?
What we're responsible for, what we do, I'd say the AUG team leader is one of the best. It's one of the best jobs you could ever find. Like, I straight up love it. You have a giant military bureaucracy supporting you with all sorts of money and equipment and training and everything you could ever ask for. Probably the best funded department in the United States government, the richest government in the world, from the wealthiest country in the world. You have that all hidden behind you, and in front of you you've got a station, you've got 10 motivated Marines that want to work. You've got an AO that you get to know really well and that you get to care about. You get to be a mayor, you get to be a prosecutor, you get to be a venture capitalist and a financier, all in one. On some days you're a mafia boss, and on some days you're instilling democracy or a sense of civic pride. Some days you're solving a problem, and some days you're just listening to people talk and bitch and gripe, and oftentimes that's half the battle. They just want somebody to say, I have this problem, and somebody else will be like,